We are busy with geometry of straight lines. We are going to focus now on solving geometric problems. To illustrate this, we are going to tackle exercise 12.3. In some of the new books, it might be exercise 10.3. So firstly, we are going to look at number 1. The instruction is we have to solve for x in these diagrams. Remember to supply reasons for all your statements. So we can see, if we study 1a, we have a 90-degree angle, and then we have two angles of x. Now we note we have the straight line at the bottom, and we have all these angles on top of the straight line. So this 1, 2, 3 angles need to add up to 180 degrees. So our statement will in fact be that x plus 90 degrees equals 180 degrees. Whenever we make a statement, we need a reason. So in brackets, our reason is angles on a straight, STR for straight line. So now that we have our equation, we know how to solve it. On the one side we have the variables or letters of the alphabet, on the other side we need the numbers. So let's keep the letters on the left hand side. X plus another x is 2 x's. We have on the right hand side 180, it is on the correct side, so the sign won't change, it stays as is. But this plus 90 needs to join that 180, therefore has to cross the river, change signs to 90 degrees. So if we simplify now, 2x equals, we have 180, we give away 90, therefore we are left with 90 degrees. We do not want to solve x, we want x. So we need to get rid of the 2. Opposite of multiplying is divide. What we do to the left, we do to the right. So now we can cancel the 2's. So we simply have x, which we wanted all along. 90 divided by 2 is 45 degrees. Number B, I'm going to give you a minute or two to try this one on your own. Okay, so I'm sure you have seen that we have two lines crossing each other, so we have this point of intersection. We can, if we use color, we can go from the red line to the yellow line, and from the yellow to the red opposite each other. We have two angles staring at each other. We refer to this as Yes, vertical opposite angles. So our statement is that vertical opposite angles are always equal. So in fact, 3x equals 33 degrees. We have a statement. Whenever we make a statement, in other words, saying something is true, we need a reason for why it is true. It's true because we have vertically opposite angles. So now our strategy is we don't want 3x, we want to solve x. Currently we are multiplying the 3 by the x. That's what the number means in front of the letter. We have to get rid of the 3, so we divide. What we do to the left, we do to the right. So the 3's can now cancel. We simply have x. 3 goes into 33 11 times. So in fact, x is equal to 11 degrees. You can easily test. In fact, 3 times 11 will give you 33 degrees. Yes, so now let's have a look at number C. So I can see we have lines that are intersecting each other. So we have this blue line intersecting with the red. This one do not intersect. So, but I can see, so we have a blue and a red, and we have a red and a blue. So this big angle of 120 is staring at this big angle of x plus 30 and the 2x. So we know these are vertical opposite angles. We know vertical opposite angles are equal. So we can therefore in fact say x plus 30 plus 2x must equal 120 degrees. So x plus 30 degrees plus the 2x equals the 120 degrees. Reason: vertically opposite angles. We know they are equal. So now we have our statement, we have our reason, we have an equation, we can solve. Strategy: get the variables on the one side, get the numbers on the other side. So we have a x plus 2x, so we have 3 x's if we add them together, equals, we have 120 on the correct side, the other side, but this 30 is on the wrong side, it's a plus, it swims across, it becomes a negative 30. So in fact we have now 3x equals, we have 120, we give away 30, we have left 90 degrees. We though do not want 3x, we want x, so we have to divide by 3. What we do to the left, we do to the right. So now we have what we wanted all along, the value of x. 90 divided by 3 is 30 degrees. So therefore x is 30 degrees. Number 2. So use the information given on this diagram to find the sizes of the angles marked A to F in order. So we first need to solve A, then B, then C, then D, then E, and finally F. Give reasons for your statements. So here is A. We have this line AB and CD is parallel. It's also parallel to EF. So since we have this parallel line CD, let me show you. So we have CD parallel to this portion here, and then we also have this portion here. So I see this F shape. So we want A on the top. So F shape we know is corresponding angles. So we see A is on the right hand side of this transversal. It's on top of the horizontal line. So let's see what's on top of the other horizontal line, because then they correspond in both being on top. It's the 70 degree and the C. But the C is not on the same side of the transversal, so therefore 70 is what we are looking for. So in fact, this angle A is equal to angle with size 70 degrees. So our statement is firstly A equals 70 degrees. The reason for that statement is that it's corresponding angles. So we now know A is in fact 70 degrees. So next we want B, and I already see the Z shape. So I see we have here a Z shape. So therefore we look on the opposite sides of the transversal. So this is on the right, that's on the left. They just switch. That's what alternating means. We can say they are equal since we have parallel lines. So we have therefore A equals B. So A equals B. We know that from the fact that it is alternating angles. But now we know A is 70 degrees, so therefore B, if that's equal to A and A is 70 degrees, it means B is also 70 degrees. So now we know this one is 70 degrees as well. We need C. Here we find C. So let's see what can we do with C. Well, what I see, there are more than one way actually to calculate it. Often in geometry you have more than one way to get to the answer. I can see that C and 70 degrees are next to each other on a straight line. Let me show you the straight line. So here's our straight line. C is on angle on top, 70 degrees, another angle on top of the straight line. So we can say C plus 70 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So we can say C plus 70 degrees equals 180 degrees. Reason being angles on a straight line. So now we can solve C. We can let the 70 swim across the river. The positive becomes negative. So C is simply 110 degrees. So we know C is 110 degrees. The other thing that you could have done, you could have looked at this A, B. So from A, B, this whole portion here and this portion here, then you have between two parallel lines, you have the co-interior angles, in other words, the U or the C shape. And we know co-interior angles need to add up to 180. So you could also say B plus C must be equal to 180, but we already know B is 70, so therefore C must be 110 degrees. So you will get the same answer by using the co-interior angles. So that is an alternative that you could have used. Okay, but so we have C, let's find D. So here we find D. So let's see, what can we do with D? Well, I see again we have A and D next to each other on a straight line. So it could be angles on a straight line, or I think we also have a Z shape here. Let me show you the Z shape that I see. So I see this Z shape. So we have alternating angles between parallel lines. So we have our transversal, it cuts through two parallel lines. So we have alternating angles. So therefore D equals angle C. So angle D equals C, and we already know C, and the reason here is alternating angles, and we already know C is 110 degrees. But as I said, you could also use angles on a straight line. So I'm going to leave it up to you to complete E and F for as a task once we are done with this video. So let's tackle number 3. In the diagram on the left, X, Y, Z. So X, Y, okay, X, Y, Z. This angle here is equal to 90. Yes, we can see they even draw in the symbolic meaning there. And triangle WYZ is an isosceles triangle. Yes, they even showed us here the two sides that are the same. So remember, there's a direct relationship between side lengths and angle sizes. So if this side is opposite this angle here, okay, in fact, use a different color pen and just draw this blue. Okay, so that angle is opposite this side. This angle Y, okay, just erase that, don't want to remove the y. So this angle here in blue match that angle therefore. Use the information given in the diagram to solve for x and y. Give reasons for your statements. Okay, so now the first thing that I see, we have in the peak triangle, we have the 2x, we have the 90 degrees, we have 3x. So we only have one variable and we have a value. So we can solve. We can say 2x plus 3x plus 90 degrees equals 180 degrees. Why? Angle sum of a triangle. If we add all the angles of the triangle, they must add up to 180. So our reason is angle sum of triangle XYZ. We need to indicate which one as there are more than 2. And now we can solve x. We can swim the 90 across, it becomes negative. We can add the 2x and 3x, so it's 5x's equals 180. We said we swim across the 90, the plus 90 becomes negative 90. So therefore 5x equals, we have 180, we give away 90, we still have 90 degrees left. We don't want 5x, we want x. Divide both sides by 5. Therefore x is 5 goes into 9 once, remainder 4. 5 goes into 40 8 times. So we know x is 18 degrees. Now we still need to solve y. Okay, but let's see, what do we have here? We again have the small triangle. If the blue is y here, it means this blue here is also y. So we have two y angles. We know x is 18. So we can say this angle here is in fact 3 times 18. So 3 times 10 is 30. 8 times 3 is 24, so it's 54. So now we can say y plus 54 is in fact equal to 180 degrees. Because this is now the angle sum of a triangle of a smaller triangle. So we can say y plus 54 degrees equals 180 degrees. You actually could first write plus 3 times 18 equals 180, but we already now calculated that on the side. And the reason is angle sum of triangle WYZ. But we have a bit of a problem. There's a statement that we had to make before between these two. We first should have said that in fact that WYZ, angle WYZ is equal to angle YWZ. The reason is that they are isosceles triangles. Or you could have said given, because they gave you the information. And now we can solve. So y plus y is 2y. We have to swim the plus 54 across. It becomes negative 54. So 2y equals 180 minus 54 is 126 degrees. We have to divide both sides by 2. So y equals 63 degrees. So we have solved x, we have solved y as well. Okay, so number 4. We have to determine the values of x, y, and z in the following diagrams. Give reasons for all your statement. B, A, C, D is a trapezium. What do we know about the trapezium? We know that these opposite sides are parallel, where the one side is much shorter than the other. Those are the parallel sides for a trapezium. So now we need x, y. Okay, they refer to a z. Do you see a z? I do not see a z. Okay, so let's just solve for x and y. Assume that's the error in the book. So now, since, well, what we could say is we have a straight line. It's one way to do this. Could say here we have a straight line, and we have on this straight line these two angles next to each other. So we could say we have angle sum. So y plus 35 plus 110, well, not angle sum, angles on a straight line. So we can say y plus 35 plus 110 degrees together must equal 180 degrees. So we can say y plus 35 degrees plus the 110 degrees together equal 180 degrees. It is angles on a straight line. So now we can solve y. We have 35 plus 110, which is 145, which we can swim across. So y equals the 180 degrees minus, you could also say separately, minus 35 minus 110, but that's the same as minus 145 degrees. So therefore y equals 35 degrees. So now that we have y, we can solve x because we have the u shape. Let me show you the u shape or the C shape. So here we go. We already have that leg. We have this now. So we have this angle and this angle. They are both interior inside the parallel lines. So therefore we have co-interior angles. We know co-interior angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So we can say x plus y plus 35 degrees equals 180 degrees. Reason co-interior angles. So now we have x plus, we already solved y, so we can replace y with 35 degrees, substitution, plus another 35 degrees equals 180 degrees. Now we can solve x on the one side, 35 plus 35 is 70, swim across, the plus 70 becomes minus 70. So therefore x is 110 degrees. Could even determine that in another way. The shortcut way would actually, or the shorter way would be just to simply say x is 110. Why? Because we have also the F shape. Can you see we have the F shape as well? So that was an alternative that would be in fact a bit shorter. So you can see in geometry there are often more than one way to get to the answer. So your task is exercise 12.3. For some of you it might be 10.3 to complete 1D, 2E, 2F and number 4B.